And our next witness, the last witness, is Nuala O'Connor. She's the President and CEO of the Center for Democracy and Technology, internationally recognized expert in Internet and technology policy. Prior to joining CDT, she held a number of positions in the public and private sector, including as the first Chief Privacy Officer at the Department of Homeland Security, senior positions at General Electric and Amazon.com. She was born in Belfast, Northern Ireland, and I'm a certain amount of pride mentioned she's a graduate of Georgetown University Law Center many, many, many years after I graduated from there. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Chairman Lee, Senator Grassley, distinguished members of the committee, my esteemed colleagues on the panel, I thank you. I'm honored to be here today to represent the Center for Democracy and Technology. For over 20 years, CDT has worked to promote and sustain public policy that protect a free and open internet. Above all, we are dedicated to advancing the individual's interest in a digital world that supports free expression, freedom of association, personal privacy, and innovation. Both the technology and the policy architectures of the internet must support these individual rights and freedoms while also fostering innovation and the free flow of information, not only within the United States, but around the world. The internet, at just over 2 decades old, is still in its infancy. Sound technical and policy choices have brought about an internet that has supported robust expression, creativity, and innovation. While it is an appropriate time to strengthen the rules governing our rights in the digital world, we must be thoughtful about the consequences. We must seek to protect an individual's profound need to fully engage in the digital world as speakers, as creators, as recipients of rich and diverse ideas at reasonable costs and effective speeds. We must remain dedicated to growth and innovation that supports these goals in both public and private policies. The Center for Democracy and Technology strongly supports the concept of net neutrality. We believe that the internet is an enabler of knowledge, of community, and of democracy around the world. We encourage the FCC to take decisive action to establish clear and strong rules that will create a level playing field for consumers. We seek new rules that are undergirded by principles of fairness and internet openness. And we believe that all options should be on the table for the FCC to consider. When the FCC's open internet rules were adopted in 2010, there was in fact even far less agreement on net neutrality than there is today. Most now agree that we need strong open internet rules that provide clarity for consumers and for businesses alike. Ultimately, strong rules should make it clear that the open and free nature of the internet cannot and would not be changed. We advocate for a principled and a pragmatic approach to the new rules, with the following principles guiding any decision. 1, there must be no blocking, no censorship allowed. 2, we must have transparency about the services and the practices offered. 3, there should be low barriers to entry to the market on the internet, not only for individuals, but for startup companies as well, which means we must have baseline non-discrimination rules. And 4, we must encourage open technical standards while still allowing for reasonable network management. It is through the lens of these principles that we should consider all of the options on the table and to be open to new ones that we have not even considered yet. In our comments to the FCC and our written testimony for today's hearing record, CDT has provided a detailed examination of the pros and cons of a number of the authorities on which the FCC could base its oversight, including both Title II and Section 706. We also explored a number of hybrid proposals that have been suggested. While all of these are real options, we remain concerned about the limitations inherent in the structure and enforcement of any of these solutions and the challenges to speedy and effective implementation. Over 3 million comments have been submitted to the FCC in the course of this rulemaking process, the vast majority of which call for strong rules that protect and preserve an open internet. While the details of these comments vary, citizens have weighed in on this issue as never before, largely through online filings and emails, showing the very nature of the internet as a vehicle for political speech and openness. Many of these comments call for Title II reclassification, and all agree that the internet is a valuable resource and a platform, and essential to our daily lives. While there are some procedural concerns and hurdles that Title II must overcome, it nevertheless remains a very significant option for the FTCC to consider. Other options are also possible. A number of companies have called for hybrid proposals involving Title II applied to edge providers and Section 706 to end users. Others have suggested that prioritization might be acceptable if it's a choice made by the individual end user herself. All of these proposals reflect thought and effort and creativity and deserve the time and the attention of the FCC in crafting a new and innovative policy framework, one that matches the speed and the innovation and the impact of the internet on our economy, our institutions, and our private lives. The Center for Democracy and Technology believes that any regulatory framework adopted by the Federal Communications Commission must promote access, free expression, and the civil rights that will enable the greatest number of individuals to fully engage in the digital world. Whatever path the FCC chooses to take, it must act swiftly to create policy certainty that protects the individual and promotes the future growth and innovation. Thank you.